What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? I'm the Godless Engineer, and I critically analyze apologist claims to give you the best arguments and information so that you can stand up and use your voice. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a pastor. She's a woman that's giving that's preaching to a crowd, talking about how integral the Bible was to the founding of America and how often the founders actually cited the Bible. And I really want to provide you with some information about exactly how often the founders cited the Bible.
There is no question. It isn't even debatable. The number one book that was referenced by the founders across the board when they were putting this nation together was the Bible.
Now, this is just blatantly fucking false. The Bible was actually cited very sparingly during the Constitutional Conventions. And I think that it speaks volumes that the founders were definitely influenced by the Bible and biblical principles and all that. They managed to have these constitutional conventions and proceedings and debates, and they really didn't cite the Bible whatsoever. There's a few caveats here as far as citing the Bible goes, but it's nowhere near, not even relatively close, not even on a football field's width or length or whatever in the fuck how you play that game, close to what she's talking about here. Now, there was a comprehensive study done of 190 constitutional proceedings that occurred between 1787 and 1788. And it failed to uncover even one explicit allusion to Scripture. A meticulous review of James Madison's notes on the Constitutional Convention revealed only one explicit citation of Scripture on a very specific constitutional provision. And even that wasn't made by Madison himself. It was actually made by Benjamin Franklin. The Constitution itself does not include any biblical quotations or verses. And this is most likely because they wanted to set up a secular nation so that everybody could freely believe in whatever they wanted to or not. The only person to make a reference to the Bible was Benjamin Franklin, as I said before. And he cited Exodus 18:21 about rulers hating covetousness. And this was in relation to what it takes to hold public office. Now, Franklin did cite Scripture another time when he was putting forth a proposal for prayer during the Constitutional Convention. And he cited three different passages: Psalm 127:1, Matthew 10:29, and Genesis 11:1 through 9. But that was a failed prayer proposal, so it didn't go anywhere, and it wasn't included in the Constitution or anything like that. So, like I said before, pretty far away from what she's talking about here. It was not the number one cited book. In fact, it was barely cited at all. And the one time that it wasn't on anything really substantial.
A distant second was the great French philosopher Montesquieu, then the English philosopher John Locke, and others. But it was the Bible.
This particular claim happens to be correct. I don't know how this factors into the Bible or how that's supposed to embolden the Bible's referencing here. I guess maybe they're trying to suggest that, all these great thinkers at that time, but the Bible was the one that was really referenced.
In fact, you can take the Declaration of Independence apart and you can find Scripture for almost every portion.
Interestingly enough, the Declaration of Independence is not a founding document. It's an important document in American history, but it is not a founding document of our current government. There's actually an entire government that was scrapped between our current government and the Declaration of Independence. So that has no bearing on this. Like, whether or not you can find Scripture to support every single line of the Declaration of Independence, that did not set up anything for our government.
The Constitution, Scripture for almost every portion, because these were some of the most brilliant geniuses ever assembled.
Now, I sincerely doubt there's scriptural basis for every portion of the Constitution, given that the Bill of Rights and the Constitution itself is very antithetical to Christianity. The pluralism that's defined in the First Amendment to the Constitution is very much against the nature of the God of the Bible. The God of the Bible wants everybody to be Christian and only Christian. He doesn't want people to be able to believe in other gods or worship other gods. He gets very jealous and vengeful whenever people start to pay attention to other gods or worship or pay tribute to other gods. I mean, God had Moses go into a village, the Midianites, and kill everybody in that village, all because they were worshiping another deity. Of course, he later had them forced young girls into sexual slavery. I think that there's an obvious reason for that, misogyny and sexual slavery being the norm at that time. But the point is that God hates pluralism so much that he will kill every single person, commit a genocide on an entire group of people, and he'll do it happily if that means that he gets to kill those people instead of those people either sacrificing themselves or just paying attention to another god. The Constitution is also antithetical to the theocracy that's proposed by God in the Bible and the theocracy that's proposed by Christians. Christian Nationalists specifically, they don't want like the 3 seats of government, the 3 branches of government. They just want God at the center of everything. And that's the primary teaching of the Bible, is that God is at the head of everything. God should be considered above all else. How can you really have 3 co-equal branches of government where we provide the best environment for all people, not just a small subset of people, when it's God at the head of it? That makes the government there to serve God rather than the government there to serve the people. And I think that that is purely antithetical to what the Constitution stands for.
And they wanted to get it right. They weren't perfect, but they wanted to get it right, and they sought the Lord, and this is the document they came up with.
Maybe they did seek the Lord, but they sought the Lord in a direction that the Lord was not in. They were actually going the opposite direction. They crafted a secular constitution. They crafted a secular government that was to provide for everybody that could conceivably be here in America. They made it a living document so that we can continuously update it through time so that it stays relevant to the society that it's meant to govern. So no, you're just fucking wrong about this, and Christian nationalists really need to stop pushing these lies. Or maybe that's a bit too much to ask of them. Maybe we should continuously and unrelentingly be pushing back against this every single fucking day. All right, heathens, well, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to me rant about this idiot that we just reviewed. If you will, please go down below and follow all of the creators on this video. You will not be disappointed. And while you're down there following everybody, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe.